You are listening to the Novel Writing Podcast, episode 73. Grab a cup, cozy up, and let's get to writing. Today's episode is about how to make time for writing. This is one of the biggest obstacles aspiring writers face because our lives have these sneaky ways of siphoning away all our extra time into things that, in retrospect, might not matter to us as much as the end goal of writing a book does. The thing is, we don't just have time for writing. We have to make time for writing. The default language we use is, if I have time for that, I'll do that thing, or I'll get to it when I have time. We leave our schedules up to chance and the whims of life and other people, which inevitably turns into never having the time to write. We all have 24 hours in a day and 168 hours in a week. The number of hours in a week is important because we rarely have 2 or 3 identical days in a row. We tend to operate more on weekly rhythms, and that lets us plan or plot out our weeks better than trying to shove more things into one day than we can fit. That might not mean writing every day, and instead committing to 5 days a week or 4 days a week. Whatever best fits into your weekly rhythm will likely be the easiest to maintain and follow through on. In my experience, the nose to the grindstone span of NaNoWriMo's 30 days of frantic writing is only sustainable for those 30 days. Cranking out 1,667 words a day forever can test even the most experienced writers, even if it's their full-time job. So how does one make time for writing? First, commit to it. One does not become a published author without a commitment to the final product, and you can't reach that final draft without committing to the entire process of writing, regardless of how much time it takes. Even if it takes you years to write it, if you're committed, that's what counts in the long term. Second, plan for it. If you aren't already time blocking or using a calendar or otherwise planning your week, I highly encourage you and recommend that you start. While it's true that plans rarely survive first contact in battle, the truth is that if you don't have an idea of how you want your week to go, then you'll end your week feeling like you didn't accomplish anything. If you plan ahead to write, you are more likely to write something, even if you don't hit the actual goal. The point isn't to always reach the goals or execute your plans 100%. The point is to know your direction so that you aren't lost when it's 5 p.m. on a Wednesday and your evening plans got canceled, leaving you with an extra free hour to write. Third, roll with the punches. As Mike Tyson has said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. We all have life experiences that punch us in the face. The problem is if we let those face punches get the best of us and knock us completely off our paths. The solution? Have an idea of what you would do or how you would respond to those face punches. Even if you can't predict the catastrophes, and no one can, you can decide ahead of time how you will respond to them. Identify all the different areas or domains of life that could throw metaphorical punches. Family, work, pets, friends, broken water heaters, leaky roofs. Just knowing those things can give you a better idea of the types of face punches that could come your way. And that lets you make a response plan that may include sacrificing writing time to address something that just moved up on your priority list. And fourth, don't compare how much time you make to write with how much time other authors make to write. Each of our lives are vastly different. Some people have kids, pets, elderly parents, 2 jobs, a side hustle, and are working on an epic fantasy novel. And other people are single, in college, dealing with chronic health issues, and are writing a cozy mystery. And yes, there are full-time authors out there too. I know. And I know that is the goal for a lot of our listeners and a lot of the members of the challenge and our premium groups. No matter your situation, the time you make to write is perfect for you. Just because your friend has an extra 2 hours a day to write doesn't mean that you're falling behind. Comparison is the thief of joy, and I don't want you to thieve your own joy by using someone else's schedule against yourself. That's it for today's episode on how to make time for writing. Thanks for joining me, and remember, the first draft is supposed to be garbage. Thanks for listening to the Novel Writing Podcast. If you're ready to stop struggling and start finishing your novel, check out the 60-Day Novel Writing Challenge. It's a step-by-step program designed for solo writers to complete their first draft with clarity and focus. Visit the link in the description to learn more.